What is up, everybody? This is Anthony with VR365. It is Sunday. It is January 20th, and it is about 11:19 a.m. And we're getting off to a little bit of a late start here. VR Roundtable ran a little bit long today, guys. It was definitely a little bit longer than normal, and that, of course, delayed this show as well. Okay, so what are we going to get into today? I got to tell you that I literally have nothing to talk about today. Literally nothing. Other than, well, I can get into a discussion of some of the things I've been playing. You know, some of the stuff that I've been playing recently, I can get into that. But this is definitely going to be a shiz show, because what I did today, this morning, I woke up, I made the thumbnail image of duck season with me kind of going like this. I don't know why I have this like look on my face, but I went ahead and used that as my thumbnail image. Got that set up so that when VR Roundtable was going to be over with, I'd just be ready to go. Because last time, I didn't even have a thumbnail created before we started VR Roundtable. And then so VR Roundtable was over, I had to scramble and make a thumbnail and do all that and create an event and start the event. So at least I had that done. But do I have stories to go to? Topics to get into? Not exactly. So what we can do is we can go ahead and check out some of the subreddits. We can check out some of the websites. We can maybe talk about some of the games that I've played very recently. We can get into some of that stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and why don't we start it off with some of the stuff that I've been playing recently. So let me see here. Let me go into my VRGR Live folder here and see what I got going on. Well, you know, one of the things I can talk about real briefly here is Little Einar. I did play this yesterday. In fact, I do have a Let's Play that is up on the channel where I played this for a little bit. This game came out of early access yesterday. I had never heard of it. Now, apparently, I actually tweeted out to the developer of this game and said, you know what, this looks really cool. DM me, because I basically wanted to ask the guy, you know, give me a code for this. I'll check it out real quick. And the guy got back to me really quick, got me a code, and I was all excited to try this out. And I come to find out that apparently VR Roundtable already had a code for this game. I didn't even need to get a code from him, but oh well, I had forgotten about it. I guess Gary had played this months ago, but as you can see, you're kind of just going around the perimeter of walls like this, and that's how my gameplay was. Very simple. I enjoyed it. It's a fun game. The one thing I'll say about it, though, is there's this weird blurry effect that is kind of around your character, almost like a warping effect. And then I also felt like the collision detection, like you can jump on enemies' heads, but sometimes you'll jump up in the air, and as you're jumping, like normally in a platforming game, if this is a bad guy and you jump up and you hit the side of the bad guy, normally you would die. Where if you jump up and you land on top of the guy, then you kill the guy. But in this game, if you jump up and you just click him with your foot on the side as you're going up, he'll die and you won't die. And that's a little bit janky. Like normally it shouldn't be like that. You also have this swinging capability where you can swing your thing and you can kind of smack these guys. It's pretty simple. It's pretty indie. Mad Bones Games is the developer. But I thought it was kind of fun. So if you're looking for a VR platformer that's colorful, you know, you can do a lot worse. It's not like we're exactly swimming in VR platformers. So that is Little Einar. Now, Conrad Lawrence said, hey, go to the mailbag. When in doubt, go to your mailbag. And you know what? That's actually a good suggestion. I can always go to the mailbag. So let's see here. Let me go ahead. Hold on. Let me get this set up so I can get into my mailbag. We will go to YouTube, VR365 channel, and we can check out some mailbag real quick. Let me get this set up. Okay, here we go. And let's go into our VR365 channel. Okay, let's switch over here to our webby browser. And here we are. This is This is our channel here. So I can go to our most recent episode. Let's go to Saturday's live stream, which I actually have not made any timestamps. I did not get around to timestamps on this yet, so apologies for that. No timestamps. Let me go ahead and pause that. We don't want to double it up. All right, MameFan has a comment in chat. He says, Visionarium is $9. F that. I might try it for free. But MameFan, people have to figure out a way to make money, right? Like, people can't just deliver free content for multiple years and never make any money. Oh yeah, they can, because that's pretty much what I've been doing for the last 2 years. No, but to be honest, I mean, hey, it's actually a pretty cool music video trip out kind of experience. And $9, yeah, you know, it probably should be maybe $5 rather than $9, like $4.99 or something like that. Maybe even like $2.99 probably would get considerably more sales. But, you know, the guy decided to price it at $8.99. I thought it was pretty cool until it broke my brain. But yeah, it is a little bit of an issue here. Scion says, Einar, looks like you are climbing up a giant chimney. That's pretty much the way they do it. That's pretty much what the gameplay is, because basically it's like you're in the middle here. You got a wall here, a wall here, a wall here, and a wall behind you. And you do want to play this in a swivel chair, and you want to be able to swivel around to go to any particular wall that you're looking at. And that's kind of how they do the gameplay for Little Einar. VR Spry Guy says, I still have a truckload of old PC Gamer magazines. I have those demo CDs somewhere also. I remember playing the Quake demo like it was yesterday. Let's go ahead and view the reply as well. And Shiny Robot says, geez, I forgot about them demo discs. Yeah, you know, I have a gigantic collection, guys. I have like a ridiculous collection of old video game magazines. It was something I was really, really into. In fact, actually, you know what? Hold on 1 second, folks. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to grab a stack of video game magazines to show you what kind of a nut job I am. Hold on 1 sec. Alrighty, I am back. Sorry about that. So yeah, you want to talk about being a nut job? Here is a nut job, guys. I used to collect, well, I still collect Electronic Gaming Monthly. See this? It's actually like in, it's in like a comic book thing, you know. I got it boarded and covered with plastic. This is Electronic Gaming Monthly. I believe this is like the 4th issue, I think. It was like Castlevania or something. That is like a really early issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly. Here's another like super early issue, 1990 Video Gamers Buyer's Guide. Here's another one. This is like a really early issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly with Batman on it. But yeah, I'm a big time collector. Well, see, I got into retro gaming, and when I got into retro gaming, one of the things that I got into was collecting all of my old video game magazines that I used to have back in the days, and then getting other video game magazines that I didn't have but kind of wish I did back at that time. And so I fell down a straight up rabbit hole and would always be on eBay searching for like a really early issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly or Game Pro or Video Games and Computer Entertainment or Game Players. And behind here, you guys can't see it, but behind here I have these shelves, and I have hundreds of magazines. And I don't know what to do with them. I guess I should try to like sell them off on eBay or something. Sometimes these old magazines will actually go for crazy money. It's kind of crazy. Okay, let's see here. What else do we have on this particular episode? So Scion says, when should an early access game be reviewed? When it is polished and finished, or shortly after it starts the early access process, or a year after it started early access? In my opinion, it should be reviewed when it is finished, and its release date should be when it's finished. Okay, I cannot disagree more with this. Scion, dude, what happened to you, bro? I liked you for a long time. Now I don't. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so here's my take. When should a game be reviewed? The second they start taking your money. If you're taking somebody's money, you are open to criticism. I gave you $10. I gave you $10 for your game. That gives me, I just bought myself the right to criticize your game. You're taking people's money. You're taking their hard-earned money. I don't give an F if you're hiding behind this protective shield of early access, man. This is early access, brah. This game is not really available. This is just, if you want to make a donation, to fund the development of this game, then give us a little bit of money and make your donate. No, it's early access. You're taking money. The game is out there. You are open to criticism the second you start taking money. Now, that's my personal opinion. You guys might have a different opinion. Now, what I will say is, okay, if something's in early access and you review it, and then a year later, it's like dramatically better and it's improved by leaps and bounds, then yeah, you should probably follow that up with another review. But hey, no one put a gun to the developer's head and force them, like literally force them at gunpoint to put something out on early access. They decided to do that. No one forced them to do that. They did it knowingly, and they're taking money now. And if you're taking money, you're open to criticism, plain and simple. You're also open to praise. You're open to praise. You're open to every good thing that comes along with it, as well as every bad thing. So the final answer to this early access thing is it's a bunch of bullshit, man. It's a shield that a lot of these developers are hiding behind. I'll tell you what, if I think about 100 VR games that go into early access, how many of those hundreds, how many of that 100 games really, truly, legitimately improves by leaps and bounds over where they were in the beginning? And I would say, and this is generous, I am being incredibly generous with this, I will say that maybe 20%. Maybe 20%, maybe 20 out of those 100. And I don't even think it's that much, but I'll just go ahead and be extra generous and say 20% of them improve by leaps and bounds. The other 80% don't. The other 80% maybe get a small improvement in their menus. You know, maybe they add like free locomotion. You know, maybe they add hand direction instead of face direction. Maybe they add a couple of little things here. They might add an extra level, a couple of extra enemies, a new map. You know, they might add something here, something there. They might polish things up a little bit. But what you played the very first day that something entered into early access and what you played 8 months later, a lot of times there's almost no difference. But see, developers, they love early access. And of course, they should love early access because there are a lot of you out there that actually believe like, oh, I shouldn't judge this because it's early access. No, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Why? Why, when it's like 2 out of 10 games improve by leaps and bounds and 8 out of 10 don't? All they do is they do this early access. It allows them to have a grand opening celebration. Our game has just launched into early access. Hooray! Let's have balloons and let's have hot dogs and sodas. Come on down, ladies and gentlemen. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Come on down to the local car lot. We've got hamburgers, we've got hot dogs, and we've got sodas, and you can get them for $1 because we're having our grand opening celebration. We've just launched into early access, okay? And then 1 year later, hey, we're coming out of early access. Oh, forget about that grand opening celebration. Oh, forget about that release date. This is when we've released. We're brand new. We've got a brand new game that has just come out. Yeah, oh no, forget about oh yeah, we were taking money for a year and 5 months, but forget about all of that. No, now we are officially out of early access. Now you can actually judge us. Now you can actually criticize our game. I completely disagree with this idea. The second you're taking money, your game is out there and you are open to criticism. That's my personal opinion. There's a rare bird that occasionally will dramatically improve their game by leaps and bounds in early access, but that is a rare bird. You know, it is a very rare bird. It is not a common theme. If it was common, then yeah, I would agree with you guys. Okay, let's see what you're saying in chat. Kind of went into a little bit of a rant right there, but it's actually a good idea that I did, because what else am I going to talk about right now? We don't have actual stories to work with. Okay, Simon Jones says, totally agree with Anthony about early access. VR Roundtable Game of the Year show was a bit of a mess because of the confusion of what classified as a 2018 game. I Am Rhett says Carnage Chronicles is one of them. That is one of the games that has improved by leaps and bounds. You know, but the good news with Carnage Chronicles, it was good from day one. From day one, it was good. It got good reviews. So it wasn't like give me an example of a game that was shit the day it came out and then was light years better 8 months later. I want that example, because Carnage Chronicles is not a good example. It was a great game right at the very beginning and it got even better. Same thing with Space Pirate Trainer. Space Pirate Trainer was a great game when it went into early access, and I don't even know if it came out of early access, but I know that it has been polished like you would not believe. Like, I don't know of a game that has been more polished than Space Pirate Trainer, because, oh my God, the polish on that game is just incredible at this point in time. But it was good. Okay, so I Am Rets is saying Seeking Dawn. Seeking Dawn was garbage when it first launched, and now it's very good. Yeah, you know, I played Seeking Dawn about a month after it came out, and I don't know that I would call it garbage. I know it had some issues there, but anyway, I don't know. That's my take on early access. But here's the thing, guys. Remember, I am a console gamer. I come from the world of console gaming. I'm not really a PC gamer, and see, a lot of you guys are tried and true PC gamers, and you've been PC gamers for the last 9 years, and you've never been a console gamer, or maybe you've only like mildly flirted with consoles on the side, but you are bread and butter PC gamers. And so you have this lengthy experience with the concept of early access when it comes to flat gaming, and you believe in the idea of early access, and you believe in the concept of early access. And I'm not saying it's a bad idea or a bad concept. I don't necessarily have a problem with the core idea of early access. My only problem with early access is this idea that it's a shield. It's a protective shield from criticism, and that's where I could not disagree more. I will review a game can come out of early access on Tuesday. Come into early access on Tuesday, I'll review the game on Wednesday, and I have no problem with that. But there are people out there that will notice that that has happened, and they'll be like, oh my God, the horror. Oh my God, this is early access, and this guy reviewed it? Doesn't he realize that you can't review an early access game? I believe it's like a completely, no. So Dr. Bacon says, oh no, not the PC VR console argument again. No, it's not that argument. It's just that console gamers maybe don't understand early access as much as long-term PC gamers do. That's the only explanation I'm making there, is that I don't have that history with early access. So early access is like a new concept to me. And so I haven't like grown up with early access over the years, where I saw a lot of games that were like totally unfinished. Like they weren't, like they were still being built. Like they weren't even playable. Like there's early access games where it's basically a level and it's like a couple of guys running around, but it's not even Like that game, okay, yeah, like it's not ready to be reviewed. Like it still can be criticized though. If you're taking money, you're open to criticism. End of story, end of discussion. But it was wonderful that I got like 10 minutes out of that little discussion right there. I will absolutely take that. Okay, let's see what some of the replies are though. Okay, Old Boy says, but if its release date should be when it's finished, there would be no early access. Yeah, release dates. Now, the release date thing is a little bit different because like VR Game Rankings, like I want to know when did a game release, and I don't want multiple release dates. For me, it's the first time someone in the public can buy your game, that is when it's released. I don't care if it was in early access or not. That's my opinion. Okay, Scion is coming back and he's saying, at Old Boy, he says, I believe there should be a launch date for EA and a final release date when the game is finished. I think you're missing what I am trying to say. Anthony believes the release date should be when the EA game is starting out, and that is it. Yeah. So all the game reviews should give the game a review before it is finished and polished. Hey, did these game reviewers, Scion, did these game reviewers put a gun to that developer's head and force them to release the game into early access? Did we put a gun to their head and force them to start taking people's honest earned money? No, we didn't put a gun to their head. We didn't force them. They did it on their own volition. They decided to enter early access and they decided to accept payment. When you are accepting payment, you got to be willing to accept criticism. You can also accept a lot of praise. And, you know, Carnage Chronicles went into early access. I judged it right away, and I gave it a lot of praise right away. Now, it's improved by leaps and bounds past then, and it's become even better. But it's open to criticism from day one. If you're taking money, you're open to criticism. It's like, look, if I'm standing on the street corner and I'm doing paintings on, or I'm doing fancy drawings on a street corner and people are buying them, you know, and I do a fancy drawing and somebody buys it for $10, like I can't tell the guy, oh, by the way, you know, that's early access. That painting is early access, so you're not allowed to go on to Reddit or an online forum. You can't criticize what I just wrote you because it's early access. And the other person should say, what the F are you talking about, bro? I just gave you $10. I'll say whatever the F I want about it. That's my particular point on it. Okay, so Old Boy says, I take your point, but I think if you want to release a game to the public, for which they are paying after all, you have to expect it to be reviewed. Absolutely. As long as the review is presented as an early access review, nah, I don't think it has, like, I don't think you have to do that. Like, again, I didn't put the gun to their head. But, you know, I understand your point there. Okay, Phil Yarn says payment equals release. I can't agree with you more. That's exactly what I believe there. Crunchy says mini games still get updates outside of leaving early access. Exactly. So, you know, what game are we talking about here? That's VR_gamer. We are not talking about a specific game. We're talking about a topic that we can get into when Anthony has nothing to talk about. And I'm so glad, Scion, thank you from the bottom of my heart for having this message here, because it bought me about 20 minutes of show that I absolutely would not have had otherwise. That really helped me out. Okay, so let's go into the let's go back into the mailbag here. And you know, one thing that we don't do with mailbag is look at the Let's Plays, but we can look at Let's Plays for mailbag. Now, I just put these Let's Plays up last night, so they haven't been around very long, but this one here, I'll go ahead and click on this one here, and let me go ahead and pause this video here. Okay, so Anthony sucks at RTS games, but Tabletop Gods is super solid. Yeah, it's an interesting little title there. I'm trying to make up different titles rather than just put Tabletop Gods by, what is it? Something Fish, Ghost Fish Games, VR365 Let's Play episode, blah, blah, blah. I think it was Catherine Chanson, right? In chat, Catherine Chanson, that was like, you need to come up with some more interesting titles for your names. Where I'm looking up here. Yeah, Catherine Chanson, who did give us five European dollars of some sort in Super Chat on VR Roundtable. So much thanks for that, Catherine. But I believe Catherine a long time ago was saying, you gotta come up with better names for your Let's Plays, more interesting names. So that's why I created that one, if anybody was wondering. Okay, so the #1 comment on this particular Let's Play, Anthony, you are like a machine. That's Paradise Decay, and I did reply to him, and I said, aw, shucks, PD, coming from you, that's saying something. Yeah, so, you know, the Let's Play thing, I'll tell you guys real quick, Let's Plays are not that hard, because basically all I've got to do, I open up OBS. Now, a lot of people are telling me use like shadow play, use this or use that because you're going to get better video quality. You won't get like all these different distortions and stuff. But I don't know, man. OBS just works so good for me. I've figured out this system of doing Let's Plays. I open up OBS and I get it set up. I open up Audacity, and I have Audacity connected to my Oculus Rift microphone. So what I do is I record the game audio and the game footage in OBS, but I don't record my voice at all. And then I record my voice in Audacity. So I have a separate voice track in Audacity, and I have the gameplay footage and the audio in OBS. Then when it's done, when it's finished, I put the two together. Now I have to match up my audio to the game, and sometimes that's kind of tricky to get it absolutely perfect. But I've developed this routine. So like after this show is over, I could start up any rando game, pop a couple of things on, and boom, I'm in a Let's Play. I'm recording a Let's Play. And basically, I could probably pop like 3 Let's Plays a day, maybe 4 or 5 if that's all I was doing. It's easy to do Let's Plays. Of course, sometimes they might be uninteresting, or sometimes you're not like as excited and hyped as you really need to be. So it doesn't come off as interesting, but I could do a lot of Let's Plays. But Paradise says I'm like a machine. Not really. It's just I want to try. I would love to have a brand new, at least one new Let's Play every day. I'd like to do that, but I'm not always able to do that. Controller Brain says, you often knock your ability to play games. Be confident, man. Come on, be confident. This is more of a joke. You know, RTS isn't my style of game, so I suck at RTSs. I'm not very good at RTSs, but I can recognize that Tabletop Gods is solid. This is more of kind of a little jokey title, not really even being serious there. And then Jay Pace says, just one map and you can't move through the map? Map seems small too. All these factors make Brass Tactics even more of an incredible game in comparison. Okay, who was the reply here? Was this me or somebody else? Okay, this is Guy Incognito. And Guy Incognito says, no, there's a couple of maps and factions with more on the way, I think, and you can move around and teleport all over the place. Haven't played Brass Tactics, so don't know, but this is a hectic game. Okay, so let's switch back over here. Why don't I switch back to my standard scene? And let's see, do I have a Tabletop Gods video that I can go to and grab real quick here? Hold on a second. I'm going to see if, let's see if I can find a Tabletop Gods. Damn it, no, I don't have a tabletop video already at hand. But yeah, I mean, bottom line is I played, so we'll go back to our web browser. I played this Tabletop Gods, and I was just in the basic training mode here. You know, so I was just in this basic one area right here, and I think it works pretty well. Now, personally, I would actually prefer Brass Tactics over this. I feel like the production quality of Brass Tactics is better. I feel like grabbing the table, raising the table up, raising it down, I feel like all of that works better in Brass Tactics. Like in this game, in Tabletop Gods, you use your thumbstick, you push it this way and you push it the other way, and it raises your table up and it raises your table down. But you're also using your thumbstick for other stuff. So I kind of wish that, like, see in Brass Tactics, you just you hold down the grip button. And then as you have the grip button held down, you raise the table up or you lower it, or you grab the table and pull yourself over this way, or you throw the table that way. But you're using the grip button when you do that. And I feel like that is a smarter design choice for an RTS. And if I did have one suggestion for Ghostfish games, is actually do that. Like, make it where you got to hold down some kind of button and then you're raising the table up or down or moving along like that. But there's a lot of good things that this game does. We talked about it in today's episode of VR Roundtable earlier. We were talking about, this is a quality game, guys. In fact, let's go to the let's actually go to the Steam page for this. Because you know what? I'll tell you what. Okay, so here's Visionarium. Let's go to Tabletop Gods. Tabletop Gods. Okay, yeah, let's go to, this is our Steam page for Tabletop Gods. And you know, it's got positive reviews. It's only got 19 reviews. Now, this just came out on January 7th. It hasn't been available for a super long time. It is $20. See, the thing is, when I found out about this game and I was looking at all this stuff, and, you know, look, the maps look different. They've got different weather things going on. You know, they got like nighttime modes. Like, look at that. It's raining and stuff, so it looks a little bit different. You can play against actual people and have them right across from you, and you can talk to them and everything. I was just doing a single player mode. And I was just in the practice mode, and I was already having a ton of fun in this game. This is a quality game. Straight up, this might be the best VR game in the month of January so far. Like, I would challenge you to tell me a better VR game in the month of January. In fact, that's an open challenge right now to anybody that is in chat right now. Tell me a better VR game than Tabletop Gods in the month of January. Now, you might say Megalith by Disruptive Games on PlayStation VR. And I will say, you know, Megalith is a pretty good game, but I think this game might actually be better. You know, I might actually say that this game is better. Now, other people would say, dude, Ace Combat 7. Like, are you crazy? Ace Combat 7 wipes the floor with this game. And my argument would be 45 minutes of content, maybe 45 minutes to like an hour and 10 minutes of content in Ace Combat 7 if you get the full game. Maximum would be like an hour and a half of content that is in Ace Combat 7. So I don't think that can compete with Tabletop Gods. Now, T-Dub says, will it be Fisherman's Tale? Okay. Yeah, it might be Fisherman's Tale. That comes out next week. I'm just saying right now, up to this point in time, this might actually be the best VR game of January. And I would not have thought that a couple of weeks ago. Like, I would have been like, Tabletop Gods? I'd be like, oh, this is a, you know, it's an RTS. It's just another RTS. I would rather play Brass Tactics, yada, yada, yada. And I still feel like I'd rather play Brass Tactics, but this is not a poor man's Brass Tactics. This actually has some legitimately cool things that are going on here. I wish it was maybe a little bit cheaper. Like, if this was $14.99, I would tell everybody just buy it, period. I know that when you have a game that's $20, there's a ton of games that are $20. So are you going to throw your $20 over here? Or what if you don't already own Carnage Chronicles? You could probably get that for $20. Actually, what is the price of Carnage Chronicles? Okay, $24.99. But you kind of get the point that I'm trying to make here, is if you have $20 to spend on a game, there's a lot of possibilities. So anyway, that is Tabletop Gods. And Conrad Lawrence says, I hear Fisherman's Tale is only 1.5 hours, which makes sense because the price is 1.5, but at a point and a 00. It's $15. So it's $15 for 1.5 hours of content. So it kind of makes sense. Yeah, Fisherman's Tale is not an incredibly long time. Just another RTS, Anthony. Yeah, Crunchy says, I need to play PT. I do. I actually have a number of things that I need to do, guys, and I have them written down. Okay, number one, I need to play T for Gods. I still haven't done that. Number two, I need to get into Big Screen Beta, which I still haven't done that. And number three, I do need to try this PT demo. Because I did play PT way back on the PlayStation 3. I played the hell out of that demo. So if I got into this PT demo, I would know pretty damn quickly whether they really nailed it or not. And I would be able to tell you guys probably what the differences are and stuff, because I played the original PT demo a lot. It was like a thing. It was like something that happened. Like, kids were coming over to my house. Like, we had actual like birthday parties and stuff, and everybody be like, let's play the PT demo. And everybody was like gathering around. It was like a big freaking ordeal. Like, I don't know how many years ago that did happen, but PT was a big thing. Okay, so where were we anyways here? Let's go ahead and go back over here. We were going to take a look at mailbag. And so, you know, I did another Let's Play, Little Einar. Let's go ahead and see if there's any comments in here. So we only got 2 comments in here. I got 2 downvotes. Ah, man, people do not like this Let's Play. Paradise Decay says, LOL, double jump. Oh, look, lava. I Am Rhett says, I am getting major reprojection the longer I play the game, and it only happens when I move my head. Really weird, ended up returning it. Okay, I don't know that I got reprojection when I played Little Einar, but what I did get is like the little character is running around, and I felt like there's like this cloud of distortion that is following your little character. It's almost like reality is warped right around your little character. You ever see these UFO videos where somebody takes a video of a UFO that is floating in the air, you know, a blue sky with big puffy white clouds everywhere, and then you see a silver UFO and it's spinning around, and they zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, and it's like there's this field of distortion that is all around it, almost like it's warping from another dimension into our reality, and it's not even a physical object that's actually in our reality. And I gotta say that my Little Einar guy, when he was running around, it felt like there was a distortion field that was right around him. And I did find that irritating. The other major downer, like I've already said, the collision detection is a little sketch-tacular. The other thing is it does this automatic scrolling up. The camera automatically scrolls up, and it's a little bit unsettling. It is not a smooth kind of scrolling. You guys know how when you play Lucky's Tale, you're moving along, and the camera kind of scrolls you along, but it's a very gentle, very smooth camera that flows you along. And the camera that is in Little Einar is a little bit janky, and I feel like it kind of throws you off a little bit. But that is a little bit of the mailbag. You know what? I could actually take a quick look at some other little Let's Plays that we might have had previously, because I don't normally look at Let's Plays when it comes to mailbags. So let's go ahead and check out the Eden Tomorrow Let's Play real quick. Let me go ahead and pause, or actually I'll throw this in the middle like that and pause it. Hold on, pause. Okay, let's take a look at some of these. Rendered Reality, I want to be in the mailbag. You made it, bro. You made it into the mailbag. Much love. Paradise Decay says, I'm loving the scope and scale of this demo. You know, a lot of people were talking about the Eden Tomorrow demo, and they were kind of poo-pooing it. They were kind of saying the demo's kind of lame. I remember somebody said after playing the demo, they were no longer interested in Eden Tomorrow. I'm very interested. I feel like, I mean, it might not be up there with Robinson the Journey, but it's pretty cool. You know, a lot of comparisons to Robinson the Journey. Speaking of that, Alan Harrington is checking in. Some people think Robinson's Journey was lame, but I beg to differ. Yeah, Robinson the Journey is a love it or hate it game. We have a number of those games. You either love it or you think it's absolute garbage. And I loved it. I loved Robinson the Journey. You know, give me an alien world. Let me explore. Give me a Higgs unit that looks crystal frickin' clear, that is following me around. There's some decent production value. You know, there's dinosaurs. Dinosaurs in VR. I mean, need I say more? I like Robinson the Journey. It's a little bit of a point-and-click adventure, and you're going to get stuck on some of the puzzles, and it's going to be irritating in certain ways, but I liked Robinson the Journey. I did not think it was lame, and maybe that's why I really liked the Eden Tomorrow demo that I played. Okay, King Hell says, I was only half watching, thanks a lot, bro, but I was getting the vibe of Star Trek Next Generation episode Clues, except with a possible time loop instead of mind wipe. Looks interesting. Shame it's another PSVR exclusive. Not really sure what value there is for Sony to have exclusives against PC, but hey ho, still a million one other games to play. Okay, I don't know that is Sony publishing Eden tomorrow? Because if Sony isn't the publisher, it's not necessary. It might be a timed exclusive. We've got a ton of games that are timed exclusives like Moss, Apex Construct. There's tons of timed exclusives that come to PlayStation VR, and 45 days later, they're on the PC. So I don't know that we can absolutely guarantee here that Eden tomorrow is an exclusive. I'd have to double check. Now, if Sony's publishing it, we're boned. Well, at least anybody that doesn't have a PlayStation VR, you are boned. Now, as far as the story of Eden tomorrow, as I was going through this, I was like, oh, this is super cool. Basically, it's versions of me keep landing over and over again, like clones of myself, like I'm caught in a time loop where I keep landing over and over again. But then I remembered, wait a minute, there's this one astronaut guy that is there and he's not you. So maybe it isn't me that's being cloned over and over again. But when you're exploring the Eden Tomorrow landscape, there's all these little podules, these little like spacecraft modules that are like stuck in the rocks where they crashed all over the place, and they're all the same. So it kind of seems like it's you, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's like other astronauts as well. So it's maybe not just you, but something weird is going on. I like that it has a legitimate story that like makes you a little bit curious. Okay, let's go ahead and view the reply of King Hell. Oh, that was me. I'm not sure if Sony is actually publishing this or not. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we know about that. Okay, Billy Gunn says, do you have a Japanese PSN account? There is an Ace Combat VO demo on there. Not sure if it will come to other regions. Hopefully it will. Okay, so guess what? I did not have a Japanese PSN account. And yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, I literally spent about 40 minutes trying to set up a Japanese PSN account, but I got stuck at a certain point and I could not get past it. Now, the good news is Steve Bishop, VR Roundtable, he made a Japanese PlayStation account for VR Roundtable, and he gave all of us the information for it. So luckily I was able to get in there and I tried the Ace Combat demo. And like I said earlier today on the VR Roundtable episode, I was not blown away at all. I don't know what everybody is smoking, but please send it to me because I did not get the same effects of what everybody else is smoking. I'm in there. I'm in the cockpit. It looks pretty good. Yeah, okay, there's a little bit of mist and rainfall that's on my cockpit window. That looks kind of cool. You know, the one thing I will say for the demo, though, you're on an aircraft carrier, and like your plane is like zzz, you know, it's loaded up to the first deck of the aircraft carrier. You see the other plane there, it takes off. You got the Navy people that are walking around and stuff and waving their flashlights and all of that. You look over there, you see another battleship that is next to you. There is production value, you know, there's legit. This is Namco Bando. This is Namco Bando. This is Namco Bandai. Switching names there. Switching letters. Okay, yeah. This is Namco Bandai. And this is a AAA production. Cyan says, you're just not a flying game guy. That is true. That is true. I'm just not a flying game guy. But I got to tell you, the demo did not blow me away. So anyways, that was that. Let's see here. Lethal Weasel VR says, I think this looks pretty cool. I'm down with VR Adventure. The graphics looks good, and it reminds me a little bit of Robinson. Hell yes, it is very much like Robinson in certain ways. Dicky Boy 23 says, on the PSN store, all demos are under Games tab and then Demo tab. Okay, he's speaking to the fact that I was looking for this Eden Tomorrow demo forever and a day. I finally got my hands on the goddamn thing, but I'm serious. I had to be Sherlock Holmes Jr. to find the damn thing out. Okay, so typically, wouldn't you guys expect that if you went to some kind of store, okay, you go to some kind of store and the store has a search feature, like wouldn't you expect that if you entered EDEN and you hit search and there's a demo called Eden Tomorrow, like wouldn't the chances be slightly good that you would actually see the Eden Tomorrow demo? Well, I went in and I searched and I found Eden this and Eden that, movies, TV shows, no demo. And yet I still finally found the demo. I mean, I went to the PlayStation VR area. I searched through the entire PlayStation VR catalog, could not find the demo anywhere. Eden Tomorrow demo. Found other demos in the PSVR catalog. No Eden Tomorrow demo. Finally, I went to the PS4 area and I looked at like new stuff, and I randomly stumbled upon the Eden Tomorrow demo. Bottom line is, Sony, you got some improvements to do. Okay, Wojciech Lezenak, which I know I am brutally murdering that name. He says, could you stream 60 frames per second? Well, first off, number one, this is a PlayStation VR game, and I am recording on the actual PlayStation VR. And so, no, you can't do, I don't believe you can record at 60 frames per second internally on the PlayStation VR. Now, what I probably need to do is get an Elgato HD60 Pro or one of those things, a capture card, where I would go out from my PS4, the HDMI out into this Elgato, and then I can capture legitimate 1080p without having this curved screen thing going on, and it would be better video quality. I don't know if it would actually be 60 frames per second, but it would look better. Let's see. VR Gamer says, hold on here. VR Gamer says, so after playing the demo, my expectations have changed slightly. Graphically, I expected it to be on par with games such as Farpoint. To be honest, it isn't. Watching YouTube videos of the social screen isn't the same as playing it yourself, I guess. It's a game with some promise. I'm sure Eden Tomorrow will appeal. He was like, E.T. I'm like, E.T.? Wait, there's an E.T. VR game? Sign me up, baby. I'm sure E.T. will appeal to sci-fi fans. My initial impression is it's AA rather than AAA. Yeah, this is definitely AA. This is not AAA. This is not Farpoint. Now, if you close one of your eyes and you squint the one that's kind of open, it looks a little bit like Farpoint at times, but it isn't quite Farpoint. Farpoint is like legitimate AAA, but Eden Tomorrow is not. It's AA. It's not single A. It's not indie. It's AA. It's pretty solid. It's pretty cool. I think I like it. And if Eden Tomorrow is like $29.99 or less, I would actually vouch for it as being a pretty cool game. Okay, let's see. Let me go ahead and bounce back over here. Well, let me get my chat up and running. So let's go ahead and check out chat, see what some people are talking about here. Paradise Decay has finished Robinson the Journey 3 times now. He really loves that Higgs unit. He really loves the Higgs unit. You know, the one part where I always got stuck in Robinson the Journey is the tar pits. Like, I was stuck in the tar pits forever. Didn't everybody else get stuck in the tar pits? Like, you have to make this one long-necked dinosaur, like, move its tail or something. And, oh, man, I was stuck forever in the tar pits. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. We need a program like Revive, but for PSVR games. Yeah, that would be cool if we did have some of that. Crunchy says, yes, sure, search should work like that. It should. It really should. Scion. Oh, Scion's in the building, man. So, Scion, what do you think? What do you think about the fact that I do not agree with you at all when it comes to early access? We really didn't get Scion's comment on that. But he says, how is your computer handling high-end VR games? Are you overclocking your CPU and graphics card yet? No, I'm not. Oh, and Phil Yarn is stuck in the tar pits. Yeah, Phil, take our suggestions and maybe actually watch some videos where somebody is in the tar pits, because otherwise, just to get past the part that you're currently stuck on and then immediately turn the video off, because you know what? It's kind of frustrating when you're stuck in the tar pits, to be sure. So Scion was saying, am I overclocking my CPU or graphics card yet? No, I am not. I had a PC problem like just, what was it? It was a couple of weeks ago, or I mean, it was like, I don't know how long ago it was now, but didn't I miss a show one day? Like I was having problems one day with my PC, with my PC setup, and we didn't know. Was it the Ryzen CPU? Was it like getting way too hot? Was I, having problems with my CPU? Or was it the GPU? We didn't know if either one of them was overheating. I found out that my CPU was not overheating. The GPU is not overheating. The temperatures look pretty good on both of them. So I don't have a problem there. However, I have not overclocked my CPU and I have not overclocked my graphics card, which I know a lot of you guys wish I would. But you know what I'm doing? See, it's this other thing too. It's like super sampling and all this other stuff. I'm trying to do Let's Plays, guys, and I don't want my videos to be all stuttery, jacked up, and things are working kind of good right now. So it's like I don't want to mess with something if it's working kind of good right now. Okay, so what else can we get on to? Well, you know what we can do is we can bounce over to some of the websites. I doubt there's any news, but we can check and see. So why don't we go back to our webby browser and let's go to Upload VR, our favorite, and let's go ahead and give this a refresh. Improbable promises long-term support for Unity. Okay, so you know what? This is a story by VentureBeat, but VentureBeat and Upload VR are homies, and so they share stories back and forth. You know what? Let's check this out, guys, because Improbable was supposed to be this like incredible thing. Like there is a UK company that is called Improbable that I believe they're valued at several $billion. Like I don't know if it's 3 billion, 2 billion, 4 billion, but I do believe they have a valuation that is in the billions of dollars. And the reason that they have so much valuation is because they've come up with this special platform. It is called Spatial OS, which is like spatial operating system. Now, the thing is, we hear about spatial computing from Magic Leap, and so we've heard a lot about that. So it's kind of like you hear spatial OS, and oh my God, you think it's just another dumb thing. But basically, the idea here is Improbable is trying to create the backbone for the metaverse of the future. That's what they're trying to do here. So they're trying to create the backbone skeleton upon which a metaverse kind of a thing will actually run. That is what Improbable is all about. So Unity has backed down in its battle with Improbable over the cloud platform Spatial OS. And now Improbable is promising to move forward with Unity technologies and developers that use the Unity game dev tools. Okay, I didn't know that there was like this war going on between Improbable and Unity, but that's good news. Hopefully this will help games like Meta World VR, whatever the hell happened to Meta World. Like everybody was always saying Meta World is a scam. Meta World is a scam. And I was sticking up for Meta World and saying, wait a minute, maybe they're not a scam, guys. They're hooked up with Improbable. Improbable ain't a scam. If they are a scam, can I get a little part of that scam? Because that little scam is worth $3 billion. I want a little part of that. So Improbable is glad that Unity Technologies has done the right thing by making Unity an open platform, an Improbable spokesperson said in a statement provided to GamesBeat. Improbable has access to its Unity licenses again and can provide full support to developers building games with Unity and Spatial OS. So maybe this is the reason that we've had problems with Meta World and Nostos and any of the games that are running off of Improbable, because there's a number of different games that are running on Improbable. So I was going to see if there was any comments down here, but not getting any comments. But yeah, if we go back to, for example, let's go back over here to Steam. And I know, guys, I know I'm all over the map with this show, but this is how it's going to have to be because I'm completely unprepared for this show. So I'm going to be all over the map. But let's look up Meta World. Is it even still, is Meta World even on Steam still? Meta World. Man, they might have got kicked off of Steam, dog. Okay, Nostos is still on Steam, though. Yeah. Okay, so here's Nostos. So you guys might remember Nostos. This is going to be this cross-platform multiplayer game. It's by NetEase Games, and it's beautiful. We've all seen the trailer. It looks drop-dead gorgeous. A beautiful, beautiful world. And it's using Improbable's technology. This is using Spatial OS. And so this game may have been delayed as well based on this whole Improbable Unity kerfuffle and all of this stuff that is going on. Now, let me just do a rando Google search on Meta World, because there used to be something called Meta World by, I believe, Hello VR. Hello VR? Meta World, Hello VR. Where is Meta World? Okay, I'm not finding Hello VR. Let's just go Hello VR. Hello VR on Twitter. Yeah, Meta World. Okay, so Meta World. Let's check their Twitter. Here's Hello VR. Oh my, it's at Zoom. I'm zoomed out on this. Hold on. Let's zoom this out to 100%. Yeah, what is going on? Oh, whoops, down. I screwed up. Go back. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so here's Improbable. Find out more. Find out about gaming and non-gaming applications of Spatial OS. But dude, Hello VR retweeted this way back on March 21st, 2017. So yeah, I don't know what happened with Meta World, man. Maybe they did take everybody's money and run. Ah, that sucks. Because I know there were a lot of people. Let me just look up Meta World PSVR. It was coming to like PSVR and everything, and you could like buy space. Oh wait. So they still have a website here. Meta World still has a website. So you go to their website, you know, Meta World invites you to experience 10,000 square miles of massively scaled open world together. Discover endless activities and adventure inside a first of its kind, vast scale, social VR MMO simulation. This is the metaverse. Yeah, haven't you ever wanted to go fishing with somebody that you don't know in real life, but you want to stand right next to them and you want to catch a couple of fish? And then you want to sit around a campfire and make some s'mores. And you want to go swimming with a bunch of nice fish. You definitely want to do that. And you want to have a bomb-ass house with a beautiful pool right there. And you want to have your name hovering right over your head as you're talking to everybody. But look, CNBC tried it. When you stroll through Meta World, a future of simulated living seems imminently plausible. Hey, if it's good enough for NBC, it's good enough for us, right? Upload VR tried it. Meta World is an enormous social VR MMO sandbox unlike anything I've seen before. Meta World is properly persistent. When you throw a rock or drop a stick, it stays in the exact spot until you or someone else decides to move it. The idea is that the space has its own ecology and history, changing over time as people interact with it. This is Spatial OS, brah. Spatial OS. It is a game changer. So you can become a pioneer. You can become a pioneer. You can buy land. You can start being a prospector out there in the meta world right now, the VR MMO sim. But apparently this got bumped off of Steam, and you know, we know that they're waiting on this Improbable and everything. So hopefully, going back to this story over here, hopefully Meta World can come back to existence. Hopefully Nostos is in good hands. Spatial OS will solve all of our problems. All right, that's pretty much all that's going on over here on Upload VR. Let's go over to Road to VR. Let's give this a quick refresh. Scion VR says, did I trigger Anthony with my mailbag comment? Yeah, I've kind of gone off on a whole other tangent now, Scion, after the whole mailbag idea. But you know what? This is great. This has worked out perfect, Scion, because you know what? I had nothing prepared for this show, so I've been able to go on a couple of rants and actually make a legitimate show out of this, which is kind of amazing. We've actually been going for an hour. Can you believe that, folks? You know, this Apex Construct story, we did talk about this today on the VR Roundtable episode. I do think this is kind of important, and I do think this is going to have reverberations for PC VR gamers and PlayStation VR gamers. It's going to affect both of these groups in very different ways. So the main news out of here is this tweet. This tweet is very important right here, and I'm waiting for it to load up, and it's taking quite a bit of time. So I'm going to go off of it, and we're going to try to do that again. Here we go. Okay, so this is the tweet. This is why this is important, and it looks like, look at this guy's little his little avatar right here. It looks like he's been hanging around with Elon Musk quite a bit and Joe Rogan. Okay, so this is the current split in Apex Construct sales. PlayStation VR, 58%. Steam, 23%. Oculus Store, 19%. So the problem here is every little indie developer known to man, including Stonepunk Studios, which watches this show as well. Stonepunk Studios, Jay from Stonepunk Studios, he saw this tweet and he thought to himself, you know, little dollar signs started flashing all around his head, and he started thinking, oh my goodness, Primordian is coming to PlayStation VR very, very soon. Because you know what? Dollar signs, man, they're flashing all around the heads of anybody that has made a PC VR game and has not brought it to PlayStation VR. And you have a tweet like this that goes out, developers see it, you are going to see a mad rush of games that are going to make their way to the PlayStation VR platform. Now, this is all good news for PlayStation VR fans. It's a little bit of a Debbie Downer, though, for all of us that are in PC VR land, especially if you don't have a PlayStation VR at all, because you know what this means? Well, just think of a developer like Contagion, a developer like Monochrome Inc. that is making Contagion for PlayStation VR. Well, if you start seeing a lot of dollar signs around PlayStation VR development, but you're working on your PC VR game and your PC VR game isn't quite completed yet, you start getting a little bit itchy and you start wanting to go, no, I want to work on this PlayStation VR version, man, because I want to make some money. I want to make some money. Let me work on the PlayStation VR version. And so you get a little bit distracted. And so that is going to happen, folks. There's going to be a lot of indie developers that are primarily PC VR focused, and now they're going to start, their eyes are going to have a little special twinkle in it, and they're going to start thinking about PlayStation VR. And I think this story is going to be a big part of that. And everybody, you know, PlayStation VR gamers, nothing but good news. You're going to get a ton of games, although some of them are going to be shat out. It is true, you are going to get some substandard ports that are going to be quickly done, people scrambling to get their game up and running on PSVR. Now, the good news is Sony does have a certification kind of a deal here, so it's not easy for a craptacular game that isn't running right to make it through cert. So that is the good news. There is a bit of a gatekeeper there. So that is some good news. All right, let's go ahead and head back over here to our standard scene. And guess what, guys? I'm about out of juice here. I am out of juice. So I am going ahead and putting my little logo here on the screen. That is the VR365 logo. And that means our show is going to come to a conclusion. So yeah, that's going to go ahead and do it for this particular episode of VR365. If you like the show, a crazy kind of a shit show that went in a lot of different directions, mostly me just ranting and opening my mouth with air coming out of it. I opened up my pie hole. My pie hole was open and steam came out of it. That's pretty much what happened today. But if it was mildly entertaining, if you kind of liked it, tickle the like button. If you hated it, smash the dislike button. And also, we love your comments, but not so much in chat. We like your comments after the fact because chat doesn't really help us a hell of a lot. Although, you know, I love chat during the show, and I didn't read a lot of chat today. My apologies for that. But yeah, I got to go ahead and get out of here. But I will be back, guys. Tomorrow is Monday. I will be back at 11 a.m. Pacific time on Monday. I'm going to go watch some NFL games. There's playoff games that are going on right now. You got the Los Angeles Rams. How weird is that to say the Los Angeles Rams? They are playing the New Orleans Saints. You got the New England Patriots and the Kansas City Chiefs. All I want for Christmas, guys, all I want for Christmas, New England, lose, lose. Yes, Tom Brady, lose. Please, I don't want to see Tom Brady in the Super Bowl again. For the love of God, please give Tom Brady a well-deserved rest. Let's see a different team in the Super Bowl. That's all I got to say about playoff football. Alrighty, guys, I'm out of here. See you guys tomorrow at around 11 a.m. Have a wonderful weekend. Play some VR. Have some fun. Join our Discord server. Talk to us over there. We'll see you over there. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Later.